Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Examiners, good morning. First of all, let me introduce my name Muhammad Daffa, Afif NRP 06170400058. Design and Manufacture Engineering Study Program. I would like to thank for the opportunities that has given to me to present my proposal with the title Analysis of Fermentation in Fiber Composition and Alkaline Treatment of Composite Tensile Strengths with Variasi Fiber. Table of Content. Chapter 1, Background, Research Problem, Research Objective, Research Significance, Research Delimitation. Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature. Chapter 3, Flowchart, Tool and Material, Research Matrix, Research Schedule, Reference. Chapter 1, Background. The background of my research is because Indonesia is one of the island countries that 2/3 of its territory is surrounded by oceans. So Indonesia has a lot of rivers. The river is a water resource and can also help the life of the community around the river. There are several plants that live in river ecosystem, namely lotus, water hyacinth, water kale, watercress, bamboo. Water hyacinth is one of the weed plants in the water that live floating in the water. Water hyacinth has a very rapid breeding, so that this plant is considered as a plant that damages the environment. When the proliferation of water hyacinth cannot be controlled optimally, will appear a very detrimental negative impact on the ecosystem. In the river, that is the lack of sunlight entering the water, so that it can lead to decrease in the level of solubility of oxygen in the water. The shallowing of the river caused by the death of water hyacinth plant, and also difficult for fishermen who will go to work or go home after work. The level of water hyacinth is not yet comparable to the growth rate. If the water hyacinth is processed properly and correctly, will provide added value. An example of one of the utilization of water hyacinth as a composite manufacturing fiber. So far, the development of composite in Indonesia is still directed by non-renewable natural resource material such as glass, carbon, or meat. Therefore, it is necessary to develop raw material for environmentally friendly composite material, such a natural fiber. The use of natural fiber as a composite has many advantages. Such a fiber raw material are easy to obtain and easy to update. For example, water hyacinth fiber composite material are very potential to see in terms of the availability of raw material are very abundant, easy to obtain, low price, and non-toxic. In the description, there is the idea to do composite research with water hyacinth fiber and the manufacture of prototype respot. Research problem. First, how is the analysis of variation in fiber composition to the mechanical properties of composite water hyacinth fibers. Second, how is the analysis of fermentation in the concentration of alkaline treatment in the process of composite mechanical properties of water hyacinth fibers. Research objective. First, able to analyze the variation of fiber composition to the mechanical properties of composite water hyacinth fiber. Second, able to analyze the fermentation of alkaline treatment concentration in the process of composite mechanical properties of water hyacinth fiber. Research significance. First, can be a reference and information in the research of natural fiber from water hyacinth. Second, provide general information about the utilization of natural fiber as a substitute for composite material from earth excavation. Third, utilizing abundant and untapped natural resource. Research delimitation. 1. The type of water hyacinth used is water hyacinth from Kalimantan River, Kentong Village, Gelaga, Lamongan. 2. The lignification process using NaOH with concentration of 0% and 5% for 2 hours. 3. Matrix tape use is epoxy. 4. Composition of fiber and matrix use 30% to 70%, 40% to 60%, and 50% to 50%. 5. Composite manufacturing technique used is hand layup. 6. Mechanical testing performed is tensile test. 7. Fiber diameter is considered uniform by 0.5 mm. Chapter 2. Review of related literature. First, composite. Composite is material composed of two or more main material where the properties of each material differ from each other in order to obtain better mechanical properties. Composite have better mechanical properties than metal, young modulus or density, and are higher in strength than metal. Composites are from two different types of material, namely reinforcement and matrix. Second is reinforcement. Reinforcement serves as an amplifier or main part that withstand load, has less tactile properties but is more rigid and stronger. Reinforcement can use fiber or powder. Third, matrix. Matrix is composite material that act as reinforcement binder. So, the small strength of composite material depends on the strength of the forming matrix. This matrix has liquid properties with low viscosity, which will harden after the polymerization process. Fourth, delignification. Delignification is a process of removal of lignin in fiber material so that the result of this process is in the form of cellulose with a considerable purity. 5. Water hyacinth fiber. Water hyacinth is one of the weed growth in the water area that live floating in the water. Water hyacinth has a very rapid breeding, both vegetatively and generatively. Water hyacinth fiber as a composite material of natural fiber is very potential to see in terms of the availability of raw material are very abundant, easy to obtain, low price, and non-toxic. And tensile test. Tensile test is a method used on material to determine the ductility and toughness of a material or material by applying a force load or tensile stress to the material. Standard tensile testing refers to ISTM D638-14. Chapter 3. Flow chart. First, prepare the tool and material, then make the mold, then do the process of the lignification of fibers with an AOH concentration of 0% and 5% for 2 hours. Next, do the preparation of manufacture of composite with a fraction of volume of 30% to 70%, 40% to 60%, and 50% to 50%. After that is then tensile testing, and then processing the result of testing and data analysis. Then compiled a conclusion, then made a raceboard prototype. Tool and material. Number 1, screen, basin, spatula, digital balance sheet, scissors and cutter, measuring cylinder, tensile testing machine. And material, water hyacinth fiber, NaOH, aqueous, resin, and hardener. Research matrix. The following is a matrix of research in which between fermentation in composition and fermentation of the lignification. The specimens taken in this table are 6, and each specimen repeat 3 times to obtain a consistent and optimal value. Then research schedule. Research schedule in preparation of tool and material carry out in February to March, and fiber processing is carried out in April to May. Composite making is carried out in April to May. Tensile testing is carried out in May to June. Analysis and calculation carried out in the month of May to June. The manufacture of raceboard is carried out from June to July. Preparation of reports and conclusion carried out in May to July. Reference. The following are some references from this research. The honorable examiners, I have presented the content of my proposal from chapter 1 until chapter 3. That's all about my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.